And we are back from the break. And there was a question for a slight retcon from Solas, so he could cast Detect Magics down at the door, but he did not go close enough, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Mhm.
However, I did say that if he wanted to go down there again, get close enough that he'd be able to read the text and cast those spells, he could do so on his trip. Do you want to do that, or are you gonna hold off?
I'm going to do it.
Okay. All right. So first thing is that you can read the
Back.
text. Welcome back. Above the door, it says Montpareo Prison in big letters, and the plaque next to the door, which, getting close enough to read that, you can see that it is a fairly easily replaceable sign. Um,
Mhm.
and it lists the warden and deputy warden as Lumo Hustica and Viglo Falcos.
Can you write the names down on the?
Yeah, I can give that. I can give that to you in a second. So you're going to cast your.
I would cast Detect Magic a bit earlier and fly closer.
Okay. All right. So you are not picking up any magic from the door or the walls.
And there's nothing invisible that radiates magic.
I mean, you would
Have to scan around.
detect magic
Yeah.
that you would not be able to exactly determine where it's from, kind of thing, and you're not doing that. You're not detecting
Yeah.
any magic at all.
Okay. Then I would fly back.
Okay. Anything in particular you're looking for on the rest of your flight?
I'm looking for anything that might look like a cave entrance or something that could get us basically, if not be another route in, it would be close enough that we could, for example, use spells to get through few meters of wall.
You do not see any caves near the entrance or around there.
Okay.
All right. So you return to the camp and let everyone know.
Yeah, let everyone know what I found out, that there's most likely anti-magic field near the, either inside the gate or near the gate. And tell what I read from the signs.
All right. And you know what? I just realized that you probably wouldn't have been able to read those signs. Dang it.
No.
They would be they were written. I mean, I don't care if you know this information. It's fine. Some of this is stuff that you would have gotten. You would have gotten the name of the prison from the elves anyway. Um, and again, they're not keeping any of this. Like, it's a plaque on the front door. It's not secret.
Mm.
But it was written in Talengran, and you
Oh.
cannot read that. And that is actually pretty crucial for you to know. Sorry, completely forgot.
Oh. Then I tell that they have written something strange in there. Language text that alphabet system that I don't recognize.
I mean, what do they normally have outside of prisons?
So yeah, I mean, you could probably realize that the writing outside is obviously not secretive writing or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not nothing secret. So maybe it's the name, maybe it's something like keep out, maybe it's authorized personnel
Yeah.
only. You know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a reasonable guess is that it might have the name of the prison or the warden
Mm-hmm.
or local jurisdiction or something like that.
But yeah, so the entranceway, if we do decide to go that way, it will have to be mundane disguises and be ready to use force from the get-go. Since we can't really go inside with illusions or invisibility.
While I don't want to suggest a course of action, but I am putting the idea out. Finn could hitch a ride on a trans and get in that way. He wouldn't return to a normal form. He could hitch a ride on. It seems a supply run. We don't know. Come, they could be like months away.
You are cutting out again.
Yeah, it's clipping the ends of your sentences and stuff.
I didn't want to suggest anything, but I want to stress. Well, I'm putting out an idea.
Right. Okay. So I did figure I have at least figured out what you're saying. But it is clipping off some of your words.
Maybe because I was talking at a funny angle.
Yeah.
Is this better?
It seems to be so far. Suggesting Finn ride on a transport. You'll have to wait and see when one comes, kind of thing, and then you'd have to be like ready to go when one comes, unless you want to wait for a second one, kind of thing.
Yeah, I would mention.
I wouldn't want to put him in that kind of danger. It's ridiculous.
I would mention that the road is old and seems to be only used by when they are transporting new prisoners or bringing supplies. Based on my estimates, it's over 100 years old road.
A shame it's not 1,000-year-old mud brick road, isn't it? You know.
I doubt anyone would make really a road of mud bricks.
I am at some point during the day. I am going to use telepathy on that vent. There's an anti-presence there.
Telekinesis, you mean?
Yes, telekinesis. You said that about the mind reader memory. There's telepathy and telekinesis. It's also awkward.
Basically float down a stick, so when the telekinesis breaks, it just drops a stick that burns away.
I mean, it could be a hawk feather.
Well, I mean, you've gotten to a point that Solas has come back with this information. If you want to go over to that and do that now, you can. It is about 11 a.m. Braxon is still on the Overlook. Did anyone else have anything that they wanted to, like, Finn? You got you got your spells back. Is there anything that you wanted to cast right away?
No, there's nothing I plan on casting right away.
Okay. Is there anything that you had an idea of wanting to do? Or are you just going to, like, wait and see what other people suggest or something?
I'm just going to wait and see, because the one thing we came up with was me flying down, but Solas has already had a look at that, so...
Okay.
Solas would mention that I think Braxon is waiting for someone to relieve him from the spotting duty.
Yeah, but it's keeping him out of trouble.
True.
But he doesn't have the book anymore.
Braxon doesn't need the book. He is the book.
I thought Lafdul was the book.
Nah, Lafdul is just a jinx.
Lafdul's an open book.
But yeah, one thing we could still do is try to find if there's any other entrances, for example, air vents into the prison, or if there's some caves nearby that we could, for example, use spells to dig through and get inside the prison that way.
Bats would be a good way of figuring that out. They love to hide in caves.
Well, how do you want to go about looking for an air vent or a cave or something like that?
Well, I want to do the telepathy thing, so I assume we can
Telekinesis
just
first.
get.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone that
I get
wants
it wrong.
to? Yeah. Once you make that error, like,
You can't get it out.
yeah. No. I remember saying like pumpkin 3 times when I meant potato in a stream. So once you say it and it's in your head, then it can be hard to get out. I know. Anyone want to go with Lafdul on this little foray?
Yeah, Leva would go with. Can
I'll
go
go
with.
along.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Solas and Finn, you want to hang back at camp?
Actually, Finn is considering changing into a falcon and flying over a larger area now that he's got more time to search.
Okay.
And see if he can spot any air vents or anything like that way.
Okay.
Solas will go and keep Braxon company and tell what the rest of the party is doing.
Okay. All right.
And say that Braxon can go to camp if he wants to, and Solas can take over the spotting duty, since he doesn't have any spells to cast at the moment.
All right. Well, keep in mind also that like everyone else has left the camp, so
Yeah.
Braxon, like you'd let Braxon know that. Braxon, when he gets to you, would you decide to just stay there for a while, or would you go back to camp?
Braxon was actually thinking of looking for another way down. I mean, he might take Finn to recommend a route, but what I'm figuring is we've got an overlook onto a road. If we go down onto the road and walk along the road, we leave a trail on the road. So he wants to figure out if it's possible to come down past the caves on the other side that doesn't have the road, and then come back at the caves from that way so that we're not leaving a trail.
Caves?
Sorry, the entrance to the prison.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely not a cave. It is built.
Yeah, sorry.
Solas would have
I'm
been
figuring
able...
it's a bit like the entranceway in Stargate SG-1.
I'd have
Maybe
to
not.
remind myself what that looked like. Regardless, so
Okay.
Solas would be able to tell you that, at least from his point of view, he could not, like, it was not obviously built into a cave. It may have been, but if so, it was probably a smaller cave entrance than the actual entrance itself, and thus would have been completely subsumed by the entrance structure that he saw.
So that's at minimum they fortified the entrance quite a bit.
So it looks like a tunnel portal.
Well, it's basically a stone block jutting out of the slope of the mountain with a door in it.
Okay.
And like the walls going into the cave, the ceiling going in. I mean, going into the mountain, the ceiling going into the mountain, kind of thing. So the problem with you scouting around for ways down is that, like, Solas and Finn,
scout.
right? Solas. Hold on. Solas and Finn have already identified potential ways down that people need to actually like go to and try to go down and see how they are and see if they are suitable for getting down either quickly or in a concealed way. And you're not very skilled at any of that. So you might make yourself.
He doesn't want to go down. What he wants to look for is to look if it's possible to go past the end of this road and come down there.
But what I'm saying is, and I'll get to the road in a second, but what I'm saying is that you need to go down, or at least travel down from the air above it to get a feel for whether it's a good way down or not. Like, it needs to be scouted. So unless you're going to go down, you're not going to get any information that hasn't already been gotten.
Oh, right, okay.
Now, the road literally stretches away from the mountain. Like, it doesn't run along the side of the mountain in any way. It literally comes right up to the mountain.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go down to the grassland around the mountain, and then head out along the rolling hills around here to get to any other point along the road.
It's pretty
Yeah.
much the straight road, I think.
Straight-ish.
Yes.
So the
of
road
course,
goes-
taking the land into account, but
So the road's not going along the edge of the slope.
No. No.
It's going like at right angles outwards.
So think
Okay.
of like either the planetary symbol for Mars or Venus, and it has a line coming right off the circle. It's like that.
Right, got you. Yeah. I just thought we were in a position where we obviously give our position away if we went down the slope, but it seems like it's not that. Okay, that doesn't matter then.
Okay. So Finn is doing some additional scouting, and the rest of the group is going to the vents. So first of all, before we get to that, Solas, you get to Braxon, and you kind of like, exchange information, fill in each other on what's going on.
yeah.
And while you're there, you notice some movement at the foot of the mountain.
I will point that out to Braxon.
Well, both
and,
of you do. Both of you do.
I'll start keeping an eye out of it.
Brax is going to try and look at that without flashing them with his telescope to see if he can see what it is.
Okay. All right. So you are using your spyglass.
Yeah, but he's putting the thing over the end to try and he's aware of the fact that if that's a person, they might look up at a flash.
Okay. It's actually 7 people, all uniformed,
7.
and they appear to be leaving on a patrol from the inside of the
Right.
prison.
Is Solas still a bird?
I've not been bird at any point. I'm invisible.
You're invisible. Okay. Can you warn the others there's a patrol coming?
It's not coming up the mountain, as far as you can tell. Like, are you going to watch it? Like right now, it's just leaving. It doesn't look like it's immediately turning to come up the mountain.
No, but would it be leaving towards where they're going to?
You would need to watch it and find out.
Okay.
I'm basically I tell that everyone is of the party is still up the mountain.
Yeah.
Finn is flying, and I think Ockar went with Lafdul and Leva.
Yeah, everyone else went with Lafdul to the chimney vents.
Okay.
So we are all up here. So if they're just patrolling on the road,
And the chimney vents are up rather than where the patrol is.
Yeah, they're not down on the
then
ground.
Braxton's gonna follow the patrol to see.
yeah, the patrol is on the ground level.
Okay. So are you gonna like follow them with the spyglass, or like you can't make out details without the spyglass, but you can follow the movement of this group of people without the spyglass.
Yeah, he'll carefully follow them with the spyglass, and he'll be careful about repositioning the spyglass.
Okay. So back to the other group. Keep in mind you don't know anything about this patrol. You've gotten to the chimney vents. Are you taking any special precautions normally?
Wet scarf in front of the face, because Leva would like to use spider climb to look inside.
Well, as long as if you don't stick your face into the smoke, then you're fine. If you want to try to climb in, it's only a foot across. You cannot get in.
She cannot get in.
Not without something else.
That's tiny.
Yeah, a foot across is smaller than any one of us.
She could reduce herself, couldn't she?
Yeah.
Whoa, let's... Leva, hold up.
Do keep in mind that the cloth on your face doesn't protect you from inhaling smoke that much.
Also, Solas, you're not there, so...
Yeah.
I want to figure out if there's an anti-magic, because it would make your attempt rather an emergency rescue. should you suddenly be out of magical capability. I
fill the hole.
Yeah.
Right, but
There'll
I
be,
meant
Humpty.
precautions in terms of like trying not to be seen. You haven't really paid too much attention to how visible this area is from down below, that kind of thing. So, like, and you don't know what kind of magic
Wow.
they might be using to observe.
When
up
I was
here.
with Finn, that day previously, I was obviously low to the ground, so I'd be doing a low stance in general, and I'd probably be trying to encourage the others to do that. And Pocket's probably making lots of noises in his heavy armor.
Okay.
Clink, clink, clink.
Well,
He's not
Ockar,
gonna
would you
be
be
wearing
wearing
heavy
your
armor.
armor?
If he is wearing his armor, I get him to stay a bit further away. So that's
Ockar?
going to echo.
But
Awkward.
part of like a stealth kind of mission, I would have left my armor back at the ship.
Okay. All right.
On the ship, well, on the flare.
Yeah, back with the camp, basically.
Yeah.
Would you have left Beowulf? Would you have taken Beowulf?
I probably would have taken Bamel because I think he's stealthier than I am.
He certainly has a good nose,
Hmm.
too.
Yeah, but is he going to bark at a random rabbit that just runs across?
Are you two going to, like, try to take up a hidden position, like, behind rocks or something like that, so you're trying to keep a watch, but also stay hidden?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to pull out a chicken feather. Because that'll burn up and smolder in the smoke relatively quickly.
Okay.
I will cut it down to a small enough size so you disintegrate even faster, but still big enough for me to grasp with telepathy. Telekinesis, damn it.
I mean, like, if you just turn the feather, it'll slip right through the grate, so it's not like...
Oh no, I want it to burn up. I don't want them to see a feather randomly coming down.
Yeah, so
So,
nothing burns up in smoke.
no,
It has
but I
to get
assume
into
whatever's
fire.
making the smoke.
Am I?
Yeah, there's fires directly into the chimney, so if it drops into the chimney,
Yeah, it's going to burn up pretty
will
quick.
burn pretty much before anyone notices, most likely.
That's not
Unless,
looking
of course,
directly at the
there's,
fire.
like, you know, you're talking about something like a cook fires down below, in which case it might fall into
Yeah.
the food.
So
That's why I was trying to make it smaller by cutting it up or making it
Yeah.
only like.
I mean, you can
but
do
that'll
that.
make it look more pose if I do that. No, you just have to be a feather. I just have to hope.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it probably does happen occasionally.
I mean,
Freak
you could
occurrence.
also, yeah.
Yeah, no, so yeah, I just lower it down with my ring of telepathy.
Telekinesis.
I like it. Oh, damn it!
So there's only so far that you can slip it down there without being able to like look down the shaft, which would be sticking your face right into the smoke.
If I gag, then that'll. It's like. Oh, I
You
can't
don't
wear
really
two.
You don't really gag from smoke. You start coughing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. You'll make a noise right into an echo
But
chamber.
But
if
you're
you
not
keep
there.
your
Yeah, Solas. Hush.
There's also that.
yeah.
Yeah, stop talking to me with telepathy. See, I got that one right. Yeah, I mean, I just see how far I can get it down with what I'm able to see.
Right. So what I'm saying is that you can't get it down very far at all without like getting to the edge and being able to look down the shaft, which would also put your face right in the smoke. So what do you want to do?
I don't. No. I got no way of holding my breath other than using the other ring, but that required me to use both my rings and I lose 3 of my spells if I change rings.
I mean, you could try to find a different position that would give
Oh,
you a
wait,
little bit
I've
of
got an idea.
advantage. Okay.
This one, I cast silence 15-foot radius on an arrow. I hold it because it doesn't matter if I gag at that point because I'll just be muted by the silence.
Okay.
Then yeah, I am gonna stick my head over so I know I won't make any noise.
Okay. All right,
I
and
will try to cover myself up and try to stifle it as best I can.
okay.
Well, you know. Yeah, I will lower it in.
All right. So you start slipping it down, and you're starting off by trying to hold your breath. Your eyes are watering from the smoke. Give me a saving throw versus poison, please.
Yeah. Surprised it wasn't like a constitution check. PPDM, top one, yeah, 7. I'm assuming my armor's not helping.
No.
That is exactly my... Cool.
Okay. So you do begin to cough, and because you made your save, you do not end the telekinesis. It doesn't cancel that as you.
Thing.
Yeah. So you are able to slip the feather through the bars on the grill and send it down a little bit. It does not stop. It does not
suddenly lose its magical focus.
Yeah, you are continuing to push it down. Make another saving throw versus poison, please.
Anything over a 7 is good.
Okay. So yeah, if there's a if there's any sort of anti-magic field or some other sort of protection that would disenchant your effect, it's not within the top 5 to 10 feet. You can't see well enough down there to keep pushing it down, however.
It would have to be a smaller form or something. Oh. I guess I tried to retrieve the broken feather. I'm not going to keep it, obviously it's ruined at this point.
But you just want it out of the chimney shaft. All right. So
no
you
sense in leaving evidence.
You pull it back up and give me one more saving throw.
Oh, I guess I do lose focus.
You do lose focus, but it is near the top anyway as that happens, and the smoke coming up and the warm air coming up does cause the feather to slip out of your telekinetic grasp and flitter up into the air and off to the side.
Oh. Hey.
But you need a good 10 minutes to recover from the coughing fit that you've got going on.
Sorry, I can do that silently.
Yeah.
At least for a couple of minutes.
But you can't hear anything that anyone is saying. You can't talk to anyone.
Lafdul just puts up a thumbs up, good. Lafdul goes over to the side, just coughing.
All right.
And after a few minutes, it would wear off.
Okay.
And then I would relay cover. It seems like there's no anti-magic. That's what I needed to check for.
At least not right at the top.
Yeah.
Could be down near the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, that's a thought. If that's a cook place, if I snuck in there and cast Ascension's Feast on that would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys have any ideas? I mean, obviously then potentially looking for a potential landslide, but I don't want to do that outside of Finn being here, because he's the only one that can make it look natural, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it.
All right. Leva and Ockar, after the silence ends and Lafdul's still kind of thing, occasionally, not having a full-on cough fit, but still having some coughing.
Far enough away from the vent.
Yeah. That you're and I mean, you can try to suppress the sound of it as much as possible too. So you guys can discuss what you want to do next. If you have another thing that you want to try, you could also head back to camp and wait for other people to come back or something like that. And sorry, what was that, Ockar?
I was asking if Lafdul has a plan.
Yeah, we're gonna block off one of the vents with Finn's assistance. And see if they attempt to block it. And once they go to unblock it, we ambush, interrogate people for information, then we, I guess, proceed into the prison.
Do you have a good vent in mind?
Sorry?
Do you have a vent in mind, or are we just gonna plug a random one?
That's why I'm gonna consult with Finn, because I want to make it look like a natural occurrence.
Okay.
And, well, I'm a little bit other than outside of the field of expertise, other than just dumping rocks in.
Leva, did you have anything that you wanted to try?
No, but there was something you never asked Ockar or Leva what they were going to do to not be seen or to be noticed.
I might be at a rock.
Yeah, and I assume that you were
Good
kind
plan.
of crouching down with near.
Oh, Leva cast invisibility on herself.
Okay. Sorry.
Brave wizardess.
No wild search.
Okay.
All right, so you guys want to head back to camp and wait for other people to return, or what?
Lafdul gives a false scolding to Ockar. He's like, you should have protected Leva. She clearly disappeared on your watch.
You guys would have known that you should cast a spell.
Lafdul likes to keep up the pretense.
Fair enough.
I just shake my head and be like, let's just go to camp.
All right. Is that the get with you, Leva, or do you want something else to?
Don't we meet
No,
up
it's
with
okay.
Braxon and I don't know if we saw Solas disappearing. Did we leave at the same time?
You left at the same time. You knew he was going to meet with Braxon.
With our guests back at camp, otherwise it's too much of a show for all there.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely would. All right. So
I mean, you could go, Leva. You're invisible.
Braxon and Solas. I mean, do you want to, Leva, or do you want to head back into camp and wait?
Do we actually see anything that there's a patrol on the way?
No. You don't have a good
So
vantage point down, and you're trying to keep hidden, so.
Okay. In that case, no. Going back is okay.
All right, so you get back to camp, and Braxon and Solas. You've been watching the patrol?
Yeah, Braxton wants to get an idea of how far out they're coming. Are they going just along the road? Are they coming off the road?
Okay. All right. So when they leave, they do head down the road a ways. The road is roughly straight, but it still meanders around some hills and stuff like that. And so at one point it's behind a hill, and you do not see the patrol anymore.
Okay. So I know Braxton can't see them flawlessly through the spyglass, but when they come back, he's going to want to check they're the same people or not 7 different people.
All right. So you're just kind of like put away the spyglass and just like scanning the area, looking for both of you, looking for wherever they come from.
Yeah.
Okay. Each of you give me an intelligence check against half your score, please.
Okay.
Rounded up or down?
It's basically always rounded down.
Well, that's a success.
Right, hang on.
Okay. Solas, you do manage to spot them as
I
they're.
don't.
Well, you don't, but then he points it out to you.
Yeah.
He's like nudges you over there, kind of thing. Or actually, you'd still be invisible, so you'd feel an invisible nudge, and he'd be like, off to the left or off to the right. In this case, it would be off to the right. I'm sorry. And you do look around for them, and they are making their way back along the some hills and back towards the entrance.
Yeah.
So you pull out the spyglass again and look at them.
Yeah. So he wants to check is it still 7? Is there less? Is there more? And does he think it's the same 7?
It's still 7.
Probably going to be a bit difficult because you said they were all wearing uniforms.
Yeah, they're all wearing uniforms. So they're all wearing the same uniforms as they were before. So you don't. I'll put it this way: you don't have any reason to think it's not the same 7. There's nothing
Yeah.
standing out that makes you think it's not the same 7.
Yeah.
And you'd estimate that they've been on patrol for about an hour when they get back to the entrance, and you cannot
Cool.
see the entrance when they go back in. Like, you cannot see well enough to know that exactly what happened when they go back in, but you guess that they've gone back in just because they aren't outside
Do they-
anymore. They're not wandering around
Do
outside.
they look the same size as us?
Define the same size as you.
Do they look like we could thump them on the head and put their uniforms on and come back when they're expected to come back?
Maybe. I mean, they're at best guess they're all human, or at least human-sized.
Yeah.
That might be an issue for some of the shorter members of the party.
Yeah.
Might be an issue for the tallest member of your party too. None of them looked especially large or especially small to be anything other than human or elf or half-elf.
Yeah.
Around what time did they leave for patrol?
It was about noon.
Solas will make a small mental note to basically see if they do that tomorrow again, and then if they do, go invisible and fly around near them.
Okay. So you want to head back to the party at this point?
We could do, but what if another patrol comes out?
Solas sends Braxon back and says that he can stay here for a while. Just send someone to keep an eye in a few hours.
Okay. Do you need my spyglass, or are you able to use
I
your
can
med?
keep it
You can keep it.
with me here.
It'd be very
I said
obvious
to
that'll
you-
be an invisible spyglass. I mean, invisible person holding a spyglass.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
mean,
invisible.
it would still be pretty obvious if it was someone visible holding it.
Yeah, if
Yeah, I don't
someone
know.
invisible holding a spyglass is going to be noticed, then someone visible holding a spyglass would have been noticed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look after it.
Yeah.
Back at
so
camp.
He
as
knows
you're-
how to. He knows how to use that attachment thing on the end, doesn't he? 'Cause he helped.
Throw it into the volcanic mountain called Mordor that we're clearly on.
So
It's
you're
precious.
as you're making your way back, Braxon. Lafdul, you get the image of Nor in danger.
How?
And
It's a hurricane.
yeah, the hurricane is upon them, and you get the image of Nor is soaked to the skin, and being like tossed about in the ship violently and stuff like that. You don't get more information than that. Like, you just know that he's
I'll
in
tell
danger.
Leva that, and you don't happen to have a sanding.
Do you?
Didn't you also cast it on Sanfayun?
No, I just cast it on all.
Ah.
I think Leva stepped away.
I think she took 2 teleports anyway.
It would not be a good idea to teleport into a ship being tossed about in a hurricane.
No, that would probably
that would
raise
be-
difficulty.
That would be a great time for me to murder you guys through drowning.
Yeah.
So
I suppose as Lafdul goes back, he says he asks for he does a bit of a prayer asking for a little bit of reprieve at some point for them. You know.
All right.
I mean, on the plus side, that they were prepared for the hurricane.
Yeah, it didn't come as a complete surprise.
And they are using spelljamming ships, so they are not completely on the mercy of it.
What did we leave on the ship?
they're on the hilt. They don't have a invisible helm though, so
Yeah,
would
no,
have
I'm just
to-
wondering if I brought my disguise stuff, if I left it on the flitter, because there was quite a lot of stuff.
I mean, it was a full
Flitter does
chest.
have
I
cargo hold.
you could have put it in the
like a huge trunk.
yeah. That would have limited what you guys could have taken on
Yeah, well,
the.
it's on the thing.
Speaking
Probably in a load
of,
of soaked clothes.
speaking of, did anyone even consider about rations here?
Yeah, I got rations. I got 10 days worth.
All right.
I always carry a standard 10. I just change to whatever location I'm on.
Yeah.
I just rename them. Instead of grav rations, I've got like elven rations, I guess, from that city we were at on the asteroid. So they're probably filled. But they're dry rations, so they should be good.
Yeah.
I always carry about like 15 days worth of rations with me.
Okay. All right. So make sure you guys are ticking off every day when you are using yours.
Okay.
And if situation starts looking dire, Solas can always cast Great Food and Water.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so can I. But I'd probably rather use the resources of the land fair.
So Finn, you're back.
Yep.
Okay. On your scouting, what are you looking for?
Primarily any kind of an air vent, any other openings into the mountain that look like they would go to the prison.
Okay. You do spot a couple small cave-like structures here and there. Nothing that feels significantly connected, like it would be in an obvious place connected to the prison. They're very small. Your guess is that there's probably some bats in some of them, in those two. But without going in and checking them more closely, you won't know for sure, and you don't know how deep they are or how big they are and stuff like that.
Do they go screech though?
You do not see any obvious like man-made vents. There's plenty of places that such things could be potentially disguised. However, that might need like an actual ground search.
Excuse me.
No problem.
Someone murdered
Bless you.
Ockar.
Someone tried to strangle him. Yeah. And while you're up there, you did spot the patrol as well, because you're quite high and ranging quite far and everything like that. So you'll be able to confirm the movements with Braxon or Solas when you get back to camp.
Okay.
Anything else in particular that you're looking for?
Not really.
Okay. All right. So you get back to camp. Everyone except Solas is back at camp. Shared information, and you guys can discuss what you want to do, what next steps you want to do.
I'll say that North Eric's having a fun time right now in the middle of it. We should probably keep him in our prayers, you know. Poor guy. But yeah, I checked out the
You're still
theme
clipping.
to have, and
You're really clipping.
am I?
Yeah,
How's this?
Yeah.
that's better.
Much better. Alright, I'm talking right into the microphone now. Maybe I'll just turn up sensitivity.
Are you using wireless?
No,
Okay.
I just originally turned down the sensitivity because it kept on hearing the creaking from my table.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just going to be aware that I need to talk directly into the microphone and not above it, like I just did.
Yeah, that might help.
Because I noticed my voice wasn't popping up. But no, yeah. So I mentioned about the vents. At least the top part of it isn't warded against anti-magic. So that's ironically enough.
But they're tiny.
Maybe well, I can get it. Anyone who can polymorph. That's basically everyone other than Braxon and Ockar. I think Solas has polymorph, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's not
But-
back yet.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
you know.
that's player. That's player information.
But they're also
And-
both human, and they're
and
both
the- and-
warriors.
And you would know that Solas has previously casted Polymorph Self.
Did you? What did you change into?
I've disguised myself as a human with it.
Yeah. I was like, I would remember if he changed into an animal, but obviously not as a human. You see one human, you've seen them all.
That's racist.
Yeah. I know.
So Braxon would definitely say that Solas is keeping watch and we'll have to relieve him. He'll also say, I'm wondering if we should be moving camp to a place nearer so that we don't have to spend so much time, or whether we're going to stay keeping camp at the Flitter, which is further away, further walk away. And he'll say about seeing the patrol of 7 people. Were they wearing helmets, Ald?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Are they full covered
Well-
helmets?
Yeah. Is it face helmets?
I mean, they're basically like open-faced helmets,
Right.
with like nose guards and stuff,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So we could possibly, if we impersonated them, we could possibly get in, although they might be speaking a language we don't speak. I can use my magic ring to speak their language, but only if I'm near someone that speaks the language.
Which they will do if you're near
Yeah.
them.
And
Yeah.
not in a anti-magic zone.
So,
Yeah,
the elves
oh.
would have informed you that they do speak a version of Common.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, it
They
takes some
wouldn't need
getting
to
used
much,
to in order to be able to understand it.
Yeah.
Which is basically just like a modern languages proficiency check if they're talking.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but also
mostly
that
think-
means right. Well, hold on. That also
Sorry.
means highly accented, but they do have
Yeah.
their own script that you guys don't
Yeah.
know.
I was
Threat.
mostly thinking from the point of view that if we wanted to impersonate the patrol, like if we can intercept the patrol and take them out of action,
Yeah.
we could presumably put their uniforms on and arrive back when they're expected to come back.
Yeah. So what you know about them so far would lead you to believe that what that would probably end up doing for you would be more like allow you to surprise them with an
Yeah.
attack, be it like act as a surprise
Yeah.
attack rather than like infiltrate them and be in the prison for days or something like that.
Oh,
pretending to be
definitely,
the- you know.
definitely. That'd be a way to get in the door, and then somebody would say, "You're not Bob." And
It
then-
would also mean that there's that patrols amount less guards inside.
Yes. Yes.
Question?
Yep.
When you do a polymorph self, can you actually copy someone's face?
No.
You need shape change for that.
Okay.
Or illusion spells.
So you could be the right sort of. You look like one of them, but not a specific one of them.
Yeah, you could look like someone from a certain region, or like an average human from a certain region, or certain other types of features and stuff like that. But you can't look like a specific person.
So
you can.
could Leva use spectral force to make us look like the ones that we are replacing?
Possibly.
It would be dispelled the moment you entered into the door.
Anti-magic zone.
That's okay. It just needs to open the. It just needs us close enough that they open the door for us.
Just wearing their gear will do that alone.
Did I notice, by the way, that was there any basically view hole on the door, or did they have, or on the next to door?
Give me an intelligence check at half your score.
That would not be an engineering thing. Oh no.
No, this is based on whether you noticed something.
Yeah, that's a success.
The
same
if
success that last time.
there is one, it is extremely well concealed.
Okay. I would have told that when I briefed the rest of the party.
Yeah.
I will ask this question to Finn and Braxon, since they were the ones who saw the patrols. Did they all look like warriors, or did they look like they had priests or wizards with them?
Each of you give me an intelligence check, normal intelligence check.
Okay.
Because both of you had pretty good vision on them, and it's kind of a question of whether you processed the.
Oh.
They've got armor. Oh, I'll see that eagle vision. But
Yeah,
that's
that's that honk vision. So they were armed with light crossbows, a sword of some sort. It was in a scabbard, so you're not sure exactly what it was. And 6 of them had halberds. So Finn, you can share that information. You're not sure what kind of armor they were wearing, though.
Yeah, one of them's probably a commander. Or troop leader.
Most likely the one that didn't have halberd.
Yeah, I mean, halberds are a good corralling weapon when you deal with mobs.
Yeah, but the idea is that if one of them is different, that's the most likely person, his group leader or some way special.
None of them struck either of you as like an obvious priest or wizard.
More likely to be a priest than a wizard.
Yeah, and they had metal helmets on. I haven't seen many wizards do that. Not unless they're in disguise.
Well, elves wear their chain armor, or rarely you might see one with plate.
Okay.
Would I have seen those kind of ceremonies on Evermate at some point? Just like a troop patrol or something?
Possibly. Probably, actually. I mean, you'd be aware of elven plate armor.
Yeah.
So the good thing about this patrol leaving is they're leaving the protection of whatever magic is stopping our magic. So we could still go with the rough idea, and this is like Plan B. This is not Plan A. We might use Plan A and Plan B together. We could still go with the idea of someone having Braxon's oil of sleepiness on them and being invisible and wandering up to them, or it could be the other alternative with someone pretending to be an animal.
If we do that kind of technique, because of the sheer number of them, we have to go overkill. We need multiple spells going off at the same time. Well, within a round.
Well, when I followed them on the patrol, they went out of eye shot. So I'm guessing they might be going to another base. So what we want to do is see where they go on the patrol tomorrow.
You might be able to track them if
Finn, while you were up flying around when you spotted the patrol, did you decide to keep watch on them the whole time?
They probably would have struck my curiosity, so yes.
Okay. Then you can confirm that they did not go to an outside base. They patrolled.
Right. So they didn't go all the way to the village.
No, and that would
Did
have
it
been...
look like it was going to a particular route and returning, like a game trail, like a one path?
I
asked Finn.
Yeah, I understand. Finn, you would not be able to tell that for sure. They didn't follow an obvious game trail that was visible, but they still might have a route or pattern. Having just seen one, you can't say that for sure. But you can say that they weren't following a game trail.
Oh, speaking of game trails, what do you reckon their patrols might occasionally come out as a hunting party? I mean, what's there to hunt around here? I ask Finn. He's
pretty much all I've seen is small game. Nothing that would feed a large amount of people.
Well, they're dependent on supplies then.
Unless they've got some sort of underground farm.
Yeah. Well, I say fungus. There's probably other things you can grow.
Mm-hmm.
You can grow a lot of things with continual light spells.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
If they've still got some warmth from the volcano, they might be able to use that to grow things somehow.
Yeah. So, should we try to do the whole landslide into an air vent thing? Cook vent? Make them come out? They'll probably do it the next day if we do it late enough. They're not going to do it that way. Ahead.
I guess we could. I mean, it might be nice to know more about those patrols first.
Yeah.
Because if we get them to come out to repair the air vent, and then we can ambush a patrol, keep them from getting back.
That's groups,
That's that many less people in the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That'll be 2 groups down.
Deal with them in smaller, more manageable groups.
And then we just go through the front door, at least try to feign our appearance long enough to open the door and go in gung-ho.
Has there been any sort of... it's been quite a good day since we've arrived. I'm just wondering if there would ever be anything like fog near the entrance. What do you think, Finn?
Well, I could make sure that happens.
Because that's another thing where if we take out the patrol and come back wearing their uniforms, and it was a bit foggy, that might make it harder for them to tell it's us.
So, Finn,
it would be
first of all, none of you have seen any fog down there. And Finn, you would feel that fog around there would have to be in extremely specific weather conditions, which is not what today is, because normally you would expect a large body of water to need to be kind of the source for that fog otherwise, and there's no large bodies of water around here. So
I guess that
unless the weather conditions are right, then any fog that you create down there would pretty clearly be unnatural.
Yeah.
Which, again, depending on what your plan is, might be fine. The big thing about fog is that it makes it very difficult to use ranged weapons. So if that's your, like the entire goal behind that, then, good to go. But if you're trying to make it seem like, it's just foggy and we can't see them, it's okay because it's foggy, it would be kind of obvious.
Questions
least-
about the
Yeah, Finn?
At least it would make it harder for them to fill us full of arrows before we get there.
Sure, exactly. Again, if that's the goal,
Mm.
then that's a perfect use for it.
We need
Lafdul?
to scout those routes down as well. Oh, I suppose you've already scouted one down because you went down.
Well, he saw it from the air.
No, but people went to that air vent.
Oh, for
To the-
a route up to the air vent. Yeah, but you don't know from the base of the mountain up to the air vent.
Okay.
Lafdul, you had something to say?
For example, if I lent Finn my ring that allows him to breathe without needing to breathe for however long it lasts, I think I figured out it was like an hour, didn't it? Or did I cancel? I think I cancelled earlier. I don't know how long it lasts. Would he still have the effect of it while polymorphing after?
If
Shape
he
changing.
uses it before he shape changes, it would persist, but he would not be able to reactivate it if it hasn't been, or something like that. Like, whatever the duration on it is would persist, but
So
if you wanted to reactivate it or extend it or turn it off or turn it on, like that kind of thing he would not be able to do.
That, and if one of the anti-magic fields happens to be across the vents, all of a sudden I have a need to breathe again.
I mean, there's no way for us to know for certain. I did what testing I could.
Yeah, at this point, any further knowledge of what's down those chimneys will require an actual excursion down them.
Or, well, yeah.
Or some other sort of magical intervention that I'm offhand have not thought of.
Is this
there was
something you're willing to entertain now? Not.
Silly question.
Well, hold on. Finn's being asked a
sorry.
question.
We'll keep that one in the back pocket.
No.
Braxon, you had a question?
Oh, well, Zarka was talking. Do you want to finish, Zarka?
No, mine was to Finn. I finished.
The talking about looking down those shafts. Lever had that eyeball spell. Would that fit down there?
Wizard Eye.
Wizard Eye, yeah. Yeah, but to Braxton, it's the eyeball spell.
When you're asking as a player, you can ask.
Sorry. Okay,
I mean,
Wizard Eye.
if you know, like, if you as the player know the name of a spell, you can use it as a player. If you want to use
Okay.
as Braxon, that's fine.
Also, please do use the actual name as a player, since it really helps the spellcasters to remember the spell.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, to
We
be
do have
fair,
quite
two
a
of our
lot of spells.
spellcasters are not native English speakers, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Does the Wizard Eye spell, can it be made to fit down that little hole?
Can it be shrunk?
it might actually be small enough. I'm actually looking myself right now.
Yeah.
Mouse hole. Mouse hole.
Then yes, it would fit down.
Okay.
Oh,
So it takes one turn to cast,
Yeah. So
and it stays around for one round a level,
okay.
I
which
think
is
that's
not
So
very long.
how fast can you make it move?
Does it need to breathe?
No, it doesn't. It actually sees with infravision up to 10 feet, and with normal vision up to 60 feet. But how much does it actually see in smoke?
It depends on how thick the smoke is.
in this smoke
Also,
in these things here?
Well, you haven't seen how thick it is down further.
That's
It
true.
would not have a problem up near the surface. Like it would be limited, but you're, if you're talking infravision, it's still.
And the next question would be, does the caster realize that it's been dispelled if it gets into a no magic zone?
well, your connection severed.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty apparent.
Yeah. Like it would
It's
either.
not like your magic's fading, is it? It's just
So
that
there's
Just
basically
cut off.
hold on. There's two possibilities of what will happen. Either it will be hedged out and it will be prevented from entering the area, or it will wink out. It will just vanish, and a lot of that depends on exactly what the magic in question or the because some null magic areas are natural. It depends on the precise elements.
Okay.
But you would understand that one of those two situations would apply.
And there's actually a sentence in here that might sort of explain whether you can reduce or enlarge the eye, because it says the powers of the eye cannot be enhanced by any other spells or items.
That's more about like you can't
true seeing.
like so it has can't cast can't have true seeing on it. You can't cast infravision on it to get greater infravision length. You can't cast a spell that like eagle vision that allows it to see further than that kind of thing. The eye itself probably could be enlarged or reduced because that wouldn't be directly affecting the vision ability of it.
Also, the caster is not subject to any gaze attack met by the eye.
Where do you see that?
It's the sentence next to the you can't enhance it.
The caster is subject.
Caster is subject, sorry.
Yeah, because you are actually seeing like it.
Yes.
To a certain extent, it is a it is like a new eye of your own.
That's what it says here. It's considered an independent sensory organ of the caster.
Yeah.
That must be painful if it gets poked.
It's independent.
Lever has a special kick spell for that, it's embedded in her boot.
So it's only early afternoon at this point. There was also some talk about moving your camp.
Yeah, we could look at doing that.
You could do that. You would be closer to the vents as well. Also, it would give you an opportunity to go, share more information with Solas and bring him into conversations and what's going forward.
Well, moving camp is easy because last time we camped with my Lemut's tiny hut that is disappeared.
Well,
I think we should get closer.
Yeah.
More flexible that way.
Faster for us to react.
On the other hand, we should stay out of the path of any patrols.
Well, the one patrol that you've seen did not come up the mountain. Whether other patrols do, you don't know, but that one patrol did not.
Okay.
All right. So everyone good to move in the camp?
Is there any? Hey Finn, if you get a chance, do you think you could look around for the local wild to see if there's any creature that has like a natural resistance to smoke? Because this is like a volcano-like area. Creatures that just, I guess, deal with their environment a lot better. I'm wondering.
Your typical fauna isn't going to have resistance to smoke.
Wow. Is there anything unnatural
you're
you might be
talking
wearing?
About the only thing like that would be some kind of an elemental.
Or a monster.
Yeah, this is still D&D. I'm just wondering if there's like some kind of monster hybrid that's natural but not to us in real life.
Braxon goes to move camp.
There's no like fire whelk or something. I don't know.
I mean, he can keep an eye out, but this is also an extinct volcano.
Oh, for those active.
I have said repeatedly it's an extinct volcano.
I doubt
Every time it's come up, I've said it's an extinct volcano.
I doubt they would
Yeah.
actually build underground prison in active volcano.
Yeah,
I think there would be quite a lot of risks there.
Yeah, it'd be really bad.
I asked a few times about going down into the crater and trying to find a back door into the prison.
That's something we should try. Why don't we?
No, it's an extinct volcano. Like you're basically looking at just a dry depression.
That's kind of what Finn was looking for while flying over it too.
Yeah. All right. So Braxon, you vote for moving the camp.
I do. Yeah.
All right. Everyone else good?
I think
Yeah.
Solas told me to vote for moving the camp as well. Because we picked a spot.
Okay. All right. I am hearing neither agreement nor disagreement. So
No,
I
I'm
will take
agreeing.
that as agreement. Okay. I'll take that as agreement.
I said previously.
All right.
I've
I
also
will
said previously
say
in
that
agreement.
I would prefer, rather than silence, if you're in agreement, to voice agreement.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Because I don't know if you're not voicing agreement because you're agreeing and just don't feel like saying anything, or if you're literally not paying attention. So
Solas is not there, so Solas can't really voice agreement.
and that's fine. I mean, I'm not like there are times when it makes sense for someone to not say anything. But all right, so you guys
Never voiced it.
all right, you guys move your camp. The new campsite is a lot closer to both the vantage point, anyways, down to the entrance. If you want to get down to other parts of the mountain side, then that's different. You're also closer to the chimney vents, and it's protected from rain here. It's protected from being spotted, but wind is going to be worse at this spot.
Oh.
We're inside the hut then. That'll be.
Well, the hut's
Well,
not here right now, but
has to be cast every night.
Yeah.
I can't cast Hut anymore since I already used all of my 3 spells.
Yeah. Unless somebody else wants to go, Braxon will grab some food, and then he'll grab one of his rations, and then he'll head off back to let Solas know what we've done, so he can head back to the new campsite.
Okay.
Maybe
I
get ready.
imagine once it's go time for that prison, it's kind of like we need enough spells to just get us through in one day. But we're not resting.
It depends on what you decide to do.
Before Braxon heads off, he's going to say, right, we've got 2 choices. Either we're going to have someone watching the prison overnight, see if any patrols come out, or we're going to leave it at night and just watch them in the day. But we might need to find out whether they patrol at night. It might be a bit tricky though if you lot are still casting spells and can't help patrol at night.
I've cast a couple of spells, but it seems like...
So one thing that I will say is that this is a situation where you're not under a great deal of time pressure. Like, the pressure is more about resources if you brought enough food and stuff like that, since you can't do a whole lot of hunting here, but Solas did say that he had some spells for that create food and water. But, like, so far as you know, this prisoner has been here for decades, as far as the elves know, and he's not.
I mean, the road was 100 years old.
Well, the prison has been here for a very long time, but the prison isn't just holding that one prisoner. But so far as so far as all the information that you know, that prisoner is not like scheduled to be moved or executed or anything like that. It's entirely possible it is, but so far as you know, what you've been told, he's not going anywhere. So you do have some time,
I
You're
got a
not
question
under
for you.
a pressure like you got to do this tomorrow kind of
Sorry.
thing. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you'd finished.
No, it's okay.
If Braxon turned Hularat into his second form, would he have been able to have hunted those creatures that were watching us?
They were small rodents. It would have been able, like, he's a normal owl in normal owl form. That would have been perfect for him. Giant owls would be, but he also doesn't eat. Giant owls would go after larger things like
cats, dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is because Hularat doesn't need to eat because he's artificial, would he be able to capture things that could feed us?
Yeah, but you're still talking about a lot of stuff, and you're also talking about needing to make a fire.
And would you be happy eating rats and stuff?
Well, it's probably not rats. It's probably more like
voles,
mice.
Are you saying Are you saying Lafdul's never eaten a rat on a stick?
No, I know Lafdul's very much roughed it.
So real fast, Braxon, you got back to Solas to talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Telling me to head back to the new camp.
So, and you share all the other information that you know so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What was everyone's consensus on whether we should stay up all night tonight? Should we do it now, or should we?
I mean,
to say if they do a midnight patrol.
Well, so you're also real fast. You're close enough to the ledge vantage point that you can leave, and I mean you might not have you might have a half an hour of no one out there, but like it's a minor interruption in vision if you want to have everyone get back to camp and have a bit of a chat and discussion. So that you don't have to constantly have someone keep going out to whoever's out at the.
Why don't you just have Hularat do that and just get him to come back to you if you see someone?
He's been used today.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a limitation on how much you can use.
I'm also not sure how far away you can go.
Wow, it's a spell duration. I mean, sure, the telepathic bond might not reach you, but it doesn't mean he can't come back to you.
It's entirely possible that he can't go more than a certain distance away from you.
We haven't tried it so far. I know he stays active for 8 hours and then goes to sleep, or turns back into the carving.
So what we're basic premises, we're going to try and take out 2 patrols. One that repairs, and the other one walks out and does the usual thing.
Yeah, but we are not in a hurry, so we don't have to rush it for tomorrow.
I think Finn wanted to do a bit more studying from what he said. Is that true? Or did I misunderstand?
I wanted to follow the patrols at least one more time, get an idea of their route, their timing, if they do it at the same time every day.
We will look.
So we can plan to ambush one of them.
Yeah, also we still need to scout the routes down.
We completely overlooked a very obvious thing that I've only just realised. What if there's an underwater tunnel?
Closest water
Where's
is a
the
river
water?
that is.
I mean, this is a continent. I don't know. What do you think they'd have? Actually, how far away?
You're again breaking up.
How far away are we from the water?
Pretty far.
Oh,
Closest water is a river that's some distance away.
Well, we never saw anybody carrying water in or out, so
yeah. Actually, that's the focus. So can we see if we can assess where they might potentially be getting water from? I mean, they probably have it underwater, but it might be fed from above ground.
Finn,
I
give
would
me an
guess-
intelligence check. Well, first, that's fine. Well, because you two are together. Braxon and Solas, are you coming back to camp?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll come back to
Okay.
camp.
Okay, Finn, on your patrol around, you did not see any like hidden surface water source that might be bringing water in. You did not see like either a spring up on the mountain. You did not see the remains of a spring that might have been redirected. Your guess is that you don't know if it would provide enough water, but they could probably have wells inside the facility.
Wells or
Or
pumps.
from an aquifer layer.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't know that much about that kind of thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Solas is getting there when he gets the mining proficiency.
Solas, now that you're back with the group,
Mm.
give me an engineering check, please.
Okay, just a moment. I'm rolling a lot of sixes today.
Well,
A lot of people
are rolling sixes. All right. So you've had some time to mull over some of the information, and given how the chimneys are working, and even though you don't know how big the facility is beneath you, it has to be of a certain size. Like it's not holding one prisoner, and it's not holding like just 10 guards or something like that. Like it has to be bigger than that. There has to be air vents bringing air in somewhere.
Yeah.
You guys haven't found them yet, but they have to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like you'll tell everyone that if they don't have something like that, everyone in there has suffocated.
Yeah.
Or they would have to cast constantly spells to create air.
Yeah.
From what I recall of what you were saying before, Ord, the volcano is sloped so much that the prison is well away from the caldera. Was that the case, or could it be that there's an air vent inside the caldera?
There could be an air vent inside the caldera. You'd have to go like, since none of you have seen any obvious surface like openings or vents or a structure that might hold a vent. You'll have to go like do closer searches, that kind of thing.
Is that relatively close?
So you don't know how extensive it is beneath you, like how deep it goes into the mountain. You don't know if there's multiple levels to the prison, but it's a few hundred feet up from. I mean, it's a number of hundred feet up from the roughly the flatness of the grasslands beneath you.
So we'd have to go up a bit, and then someone would have to go down.
No, you're basically.
into
I mean,
the crater.
you're not at the edge of the caldera, but you're up near there.
Yeah.
The point is more, you'd have to do like actual manual searches and try to comb the ground a little bit more closely than just looking at things from the air.
Yeah, and air events might be hidden so that you can't see them from straight up. Instead, you have to look them from a closer and
There's nothing to
possibly
say
from
they don't.
downward angle.
It might be a job for someone disguised as a bird, although I'd be a little bit concerned in case the anti-magic effect is in the volcano crater.
Well, being
Anti-magic
disguised as a bird would be more about trying to be surreptitious. Like, you've already had birds flying around, characters birds flying around, and they haven't seen anything obvious.
Yeah, but they didn't fly inside the volcano, did they?
No, but they flew high enough up that, I mean, again, they would have seen anything. Like, what I'm getting at is that you got to get down on the ground to look. So being a bird isn't going to help that. It would help not being spotted as a person.
Right. Okay.
Basically, we'd have to grid search it.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of time.
Or if you have other ideas that might narrow things down.
Well, I'm wondering if... Sorry, go on.
Lever will memorize at least two wizard eyes for the next day.
All right.
So we can use that if we want to. 2 of them.
Okay.
Did you work out how far away from you that can go?
How many rounds? One round per level.
Yeah,
How fast it can travel.
Yeah, it depends on how many. What's the level variation?
I'm just thinking if you drop it as far as you can.
You don't drop it. It basically flies.
Yeah, it flies.
Hovers.
You concentrate on it to direct it to where you want it to go.
Right.
And it moves 30 feet per round.
Or 10 feet if you're examining things closely.
Yes.
So you could drop it 10 foot around.
Or 30 feet.
Not dropping it. Direct it 10 foot down if you want. Yes.
Yeah.
And like Leva said, it requires concentration.
Yeah.
It's still well in daytime.
Yeah. I mean, it's afternoon now. It's like mid-afternoon.
I would suggest that someone with the knowledge would check those routes down at some point.
Yeah. I'm wondering with the crater thing, would walking around the crater be a really, really long journey?
It would be a number of hours. You could probably do that and get back by sunset.
Because if one of us, probably Braxon, was to go on the far side, or at least part of the way round, they could then use, like if I went part of the way round, I could use my spyglass to look down the crater at various places and see if I can find any likely candidates. But that might also be something that somebody disguised as a bird could do. Well, especially Finn, because Finn gets really good vision.
The spyglass isn't going to help you too much because, again, this is more like you need to get close to things to... Like, you can identify likely position, like, there's a rock overhanging there in the shadow. I can't see what's in that shadow, so there might be a vent in there. Like, you can see that kind of thing with your normal eyesight.
But then someone would have to check it anyway.
Yeah, then someone would have to get over there and check it.
Okay.
Yeah, they are not obvious air events since we would have spotted them when we were flying if they were.
Do we have enough time to get to the edge of the crater and back before the sun goes down?
I said that someone could go all the way around it and get back at sunset.
Oh, right. Okay. I guess I'll go off and take a look. Does anyone else want to come?
I think someone should come with you.
I'll go along.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
That does send both of our
before you
frontline
leave,
fighters
Sola-
off away from the rest of the group, though.
Oh, true. Maybe
I
you
can
should take
fight on the
Lafdul with you.
front. Yeah. I love the way I was just volunteered. Sure, I'll go. You know.
It was just a suggestion. You could have said no.
No, it's the fact that I can stand on the front line reasonably well. My armor class is pretty good.
Finn's willing to go as well.
Again,
I
think-
someone
I
should
think we
check
should-
the downward paths.
Yeah, I think we should limit it to a group of 2.
Braxon will go with whoever wants to go with him. Maybe somebody could go look at the track leading into the prison, see if anyone else comes on
I
patrol.
mean, tracking's a bit out of my expertise. You'd be better off with Finn than me.
It
Yeah.
was not tracking. It was there were a couple of potential routes down, but someone needs to scout if they are suitable and stealthy enough.
Finn would still be the best for that.
Finn or Lafdul.
Finn is the only one who knows anything about nature and how it works and what's good for it and stuff like that.
Lafdul has a bit of knowledge, and he's also stealthy, though. Like, that's just because he doesn't have a detailed knowledge about nature. The fact that he's stealthy is that because one of the ideas is whether you can get a stealthy route down. The routes,
I think both of you
potential
would be good.
routes, yeah. Either. Let me put it this way: either one of them is going to be fine.
Is that a
if you're
thing
just
that
working
you
on
really want?
basic knowledge?
Is that a thing that you really want to go yourself, Braxon?
Well,
Or are you happy to be replaced if both me and Finn go?
Braxon is going
someone
around
needs-
the caldera, but the
Yeah.
stealthy thing is for finding a route down.
yeah.
Down off the mountain.
Oh,
So potentially, Lafdul and Finn could go down and check out routes, and possibly check out 2 routes. Or,
Yeah, so
or
real
check out one route
fast.
and be together.
What's going on is that right now, if you want to go down the mountain, get down off the mountain by walking, as in not using magic to fly down or something like that, you have some unscouted routes that you have not checked out that you may get partway down and realize can't get down here. Got to turn around, get back up, and go down another way. You also don't know how hidden you'd be taking them. So right now, if you just needed to get down the mountain as quickly as possible, you're probably going to be it's going to be a lot slower. It's a lot more visible because you're just going to be like taking whatever way approaches. So that's the thing is like you don't know how to get down off this mountain and stay hidden while doing so. And that's what Solas is concerned about.
Yes, because currently only people that can go down hidden are the spellcasters.
Well, when it comes to staying hidden without magic, that's where Lafdul's the expert.
yeah. I mean, I can scout down the path. I mean, I might be gone a while.
We could
Yeah,
always
that's
have 4
fine.
people leave and 2 people stay in the camp.
Well, you could get. If I scout down the path, Finn can look for the air vents. I don't know. Is that something you want to try, or?
Will you be able to scout all the routes tonight? I mean, we don't need to.
I mean,
Yes, we can continue
5-6
scouting tomorrow.
hours. I should be able to get like a couple of good routes down within half a day.
Okay.
Question is whether or not I get lost on the way back.
Well, if Finn was to come with me, and Finn could go with you because he'd also be able to get down and help you. If Finn was to come with me, I think that maybe Ockar should go with you and keep watch from the top.
Probably a good idea.
Or somebody
I
else.
mean,
Doesn't matter who.
Do you have your spyglass you could loan me for that? So I could more easily do
Well,
that?
Solas can go with Lafdul. Solas is still invisible.
I was going to take the spyglass to see if I could find places where there might be air vents in the caldera.
Someone could
That's
still
probably
go
a
to
good idea,
someone could still go to the lookout spot and keep an eye. if
Yeah,
they
well,
send another patrol.
I think if someone was at the lookout spot, they could keep an eye on Lafdul as he went down.
Not really.
No, okay.
Again, I can go with
I'll be
Lafdul.
on
I'm
the-
invisible.
Well, do we really need to keep people at this camp? We're just
Not
worried
really.
about like a rat coming along and stealing our stuff.
I mean, rodents could eat our food supplies.
That is true.
They could chew for your book, Solas.
Look,
Don't try to jinx me.
All right, let's kind of reset and see. So Braxon is going to go around the caldera. Is someone going with him?
I think that was gonna be Finn.
Yeah, Finn was planning to do that unless
Okay.
he was convinced otherwise.
Okay. Solas and Lafdul are going to scout out the potential routes down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Since I'm still invisible, I can be stealthy.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
And
I can make myself invisible if needed.
Leva and Ockar, you could hold down the camp, or you could go to the observation ledge, or you could do something else if you got an idea.
I'm gonna go to the observation ledge.
That leaves
I was
Leva
about
alone.
to say the same thing. So she's coming with, and she's still invisible as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave Beowulf to look after the camp.
Okay.
Wait, why don't the two invisible wizards go and do the route then?
You
Yeah, we
are
can do that.
a lot more sure-footed.
You, I mean, sure, but you two always like never get an opportunity to do things. Here's a perfect opportunity.
I think
we already
based
decided
on
in
hold on.
sessions of December.
Based on
I'm goading them. I'm not serious.
Okay, right, but just so based on knowledge, it basically needs either Lafdul or Finn to scout out those routes down.
Yeah.
Like no one else has the requisite knowledge to be able to do a good job. Solas knows where some of them are, and you've like he's seen some of them from the air. Finn has also seen some of them from the air, and you guys have compared notes and stuff like that. So, you know, it's he has a lot to offer in that regard too. But it basically takes one of the two of you.
Yeah,
because you know
so
how to
basically
be
the rest
stealthy
of us...
or travel through natural environments, kind of thing.
So that basically means like the rest of us don't know whether a ledge would hold our weight or not, and they do.
That kind of thing.
Or if it would be hidden from the view.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine. I would do that.
All right. So, Lafdul and Solas, you do scout out some of those routes, and you do have a route that will get you down from your camp down to the ground level in about 2 hours.
Okay.
Pretty well hidden.
How far from the entrance?
It's not super close, but you could get over there in, like, depending on how fast you wanted to move. Quickest way would probably be about 20 minutes.
Okay, just making sure, since if we are planning on ambushing a patrol outside, we would want to know how fast and what route would we have basically anything to cover us when we move around the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, unfortunately, down at the bottom of the mountain, there is not a whole lot of cover. There's some bushes and there's some small trees, but it's basically just grass, and it's not long grass either.
So basically, once we get down, I should cast invisibility 10 feet radius and have those who can't be invisible themselves with me.
Or come up with some other, yeah, I mean, like that or something else to try to conceal you. Okay, so that's what you guys will discover. By the time the sun sets, Leva and Ockar, you do not see another patrol leave or come back, so there wasn't a patrol out, as far as you can tell, while you guys were back at camp talking. And Braxon and Finn, as you're working your way around, are you just identifying spots to check later, or are you also checking out spots for potential ventilation shafts?
I
We'll
would
check-
say
Go on.
mostly we should just identify spots to check later, because we can
Yeah.
cover more ground that way.
Mhm.
But if we see something that is really likely, Finn could
Yeah.
change form and run down and have a look.
Okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Finn, give me a wisdom check. Okay. As you're getting back, you've mostly identified some spots. You've checked out close by, like ones that weren't really out of your way, and you haven't found any any vents in the close by ones. You've identified some things to check tomorrow with more time, but nothing that felt like you needed to shape change to go down and check. But as you're getting back towards the camp, you're passing by a spot, and Finn, with your knowledge of nature and natural surroundings, even though you're not in a forest, there's a rock that looks unnatural, a big boulder up here. It's on kind of a flat part of the mountain, not like in the
that's
caldera.
odd. Well, that's odd. I am going to go take a look at that one.
All right. And with Braxon, I
Is it
assume?
close enough to just walk to, or
Yeah.
should I change form?
Yeah, it's close enough to walk to.
Okay.
If Finn told Braxton it was odd, he'd say what? And presuming that Finn says that boulder, he'd go over and say, "What do you want to do? Push it?"
Let's circle around it first.
It's much bigger than you, so it's not something that you could push. Like you might be able to do something with the whole party kind of thing, but it's not something that either of you could do on your own right now. So
I doubt that Braxton could use his ship repairing proficiency to see whether it looks artificial.
no, it looks like just a big boulder to you.
Yeah.
So Finn, you walk around it, and it's just like given the terrain, a boulder like this just shouldn't be here. Like it wouldn't have formed here. It's not obviously eroded out of the ground this way. So it's very weird. It's taller than you guys. Like
So it was either put here, or it's not here.
Braxton says to Finn, "If you think this doesn't belong here, do you think the top of it could be a hole, like a chimney?"
That's a possibility.
Should
But
we go in
first,
and touch it?
First, Finn is going to attempt to disbelieve its existence.
all right. Saving throw versus spell. Well, actually, no. What is your saving throw versus spell? I roll it.
Save versus spell is 11. Base. I don't know if any modifiers apply.
Don't wisdom bonus modify?
No, not to disbelieving illusions. All right, that boulder is still there.
Braxton's gonna get the stick of many buttons and make a ladder and climb up it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's button 5.
All right. So you extend it out and anchor the bottom and lower it down to lean against it.
Yeah.
It sinks into the surface of the rock, and you hear metal on wood.
Okay, so Braxton's gonna pull it back and collapse down the ladder.
Give me both of you. So 11 again, and what is your saving throw versus spell, Braxon?
I got a button for it.
Right, but tell me what the number is because I'm doing the rolling.
Oh, save versus spell is 10.
Okay.
Plus, I get +4 against saving throws against rod, staff, wand, and poison
Yeah,
from
it's
the
yeah.
girdle.
That's not applying here.
Okay.
Okay, well, a 20 and a 19 is pretty good. So, yeah, both of you having heard that sound, you now realize, and you can now see through that illusion. There is an illusion of a large boulder wrapped around a small wooden shed. The wood is pretty old, but it is it's been treated in such a way that it's quite well preserved. So it's old, but it's not like rotting or anything like that. It's in good condition, and it's like there's metal at various points to reinforce it and stuff like that.
Braxon says to Finn, "You see that too, yeah? I think we should be careful if we try to open it in case there's a big hole
or some kind of trap."
Yeah, there could be some sort of trap.
So you can also see that there are pretty large iron bars or metal bars of some sort acting as grates along the side.
Yeah.
And are you going to walk around it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's
Braxon brought a crowbar, but he's not going to try and break in because we haven't committed to attacking yet.
I understand. There's no visible door to it.
No visible door?
Nope.
So we'd have to like take the bars off and open the wall or something?
Or something like that, yeah.
Finn wants to walk right up to one of those grates and try to look in through it.
Okay. So you can see that there is a hole in the ground that is stone built. It's not large itself. It's still about about a foot across. It's square. So it's similar size to the chimneys, but you can't see anything. Like the light isn't right to see very deep into it, so you can't see what's down there. However, are you going to ask Braxon to be quiet for a moment?
Yes.
Okay.
Braxon will be quiet.
Okay. You can't hear anything. You try to listen for a moment, but you can't hear anything.
Well, we definitely need to remember where this is.
That's easy.
And does the shaft look big enough that we could get in through it?
Not at your current sizes. It's about a foot across, square, and it's like there's masonry around it, around the top.
Right.
Well, I guess we just need to find a moisture farmer and a starfighter then.
So this potentially would be a way to get in if we could make everyone small. But can the spellcasters cast enough spells to make all of us small?
It depends on whether or not Leather can make you and Ockar smaller and potentially Behemoth. Then everyone else can provide their own polymorph.
I mean, there's ways to go inside without making us smaller through that.
Lever can do that.
Well, this gives us an option of a way in or out without a full frontal assault.
It allows us to get on the inside without alerting them.
How high do you think we are off the ground, Finn? That would it be? Well, I wonder if it would be within the power of a Featherfall spell. Whether people have got enough of them.
Do our wizards even know that spell?
I could loan someone the ring with the spell on it, and I have other ways of flying down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could be small without a reduce spell.
I mean, generally speaking, if you're small enough, I can telekinetically lower you down if you're low enough weight, which you should be if you're shrunk.
If
I s-
it's not too far for your ring's range.
Yeah.
I suspect we found what we need to find anyway.
Yep.
So you head
Yeah,
back
let's
to.
go back and report.
Okay. All right. So you get back to the camp, and let's just say that everyone comes back to check in at sunset, kind of thing. So you can share your knowledge and decide what you're going to do. We are close to the end of the session. At the end of the session.
Over.
So, is there anything anyone wants to do overnight besides sleeping? Like, is anyone going to go watch at the ledge, or are you going to do shifts or something like that?
Solas offers casting Blessed Watchfulness for the. He has 2 of them for the watchmen, so they can stay awake and then sleep during the day when spellcasters are
I memorized
doing stuff.
one.
What's the comeback on that?
You're probably going to need to sleep at some point because it prevents you from.
Yeah, it prevents you from sleeping and protects you from any magic that might try to distract you from or make you abandon your watch.
Right. So if there was one on Braxon and one on Ockar, for example, I'm not saying there should be one on Ockar.
You wouldn't be sleeping.
We could both stay up all night, and then in the
Then sleep
morning
during the day.
we could have 4 hours of sleep each with the blanket and the pillow to catch up.
I mean, it lasts for 13 hours.
It lasts for 13 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still before or it's still in the evening, so it would end around late morning.
Right. Okay. We wouldn't be forced to sleep straight away, so we could try sleeping before the night time. But other people would have to take our space in the day, keeping watch.
I mean, you can start sleeping. You can start sleeping when spellcasters start memorizing their spells.
Yeah, but we do want someone on watch.
I mean, it's not like you're.
We can just shout to you to wake up while we're memorizing
Yeah, and we have
so.
Beowulf.
Yeah,
it's not
but
like
I
we're
meant
helpless.
we want somebody to watch the road to see if there's more patrols or whether it's doing the same pattern.
Right,
but it sounds good.
So with Blessed Watchfulness, one person could keep watch all night?
Yeah, it's 13
You
13 hours.
With the next net.
So you basically just need a volunteer to keep watch all night.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I was the last cast in Braxon.
Okay, so Braxon, you will go out and keep watch. Everyone else gets sleep. You are not casting a Leoman's Tiny Hut?
No, I already used all 3 of my 3rd level spells.
Okay. So basically, you do have the tent. So I think
2 tents.
I think that can fit enough people.
I've got my tent that does 4. We've got the elven tent that also does 4.
Tent of elven kind.
Okay, so that does 4. So you could basically have 3 people in, 3 and 2 or something like that, because you got one person out.
It's just not a tent that I like lugging around with me because it weighs a lot.
Yeah.
So if I can put it somewhere stationary, on the flitter normally, it's fine.
All right. So you guys get your sleep. For next session, you can change up your spells. Braxon will come back to report in the morning that a patrol did go out at night. They seemed to have lanterns, not like bright lanterns and stuff like that, but he was able to keep some track of them. They did not follow the same path that the other group did, and Braxon, being where he was not able to fully track their entire path. But they went out at about 10 p.m. and were out for about an hour.
So would he be counting the lanterns if it's dark?
You would be able to use your spyglass and estimate that there's probably half dozen of them, so it would not surprise you if it had the same number, 7, as the other group. But you wouldn't have been able to make out any other details, really.
Yeah.
All right, so for next session, you guys will be waking up and deciding what you want to do. Braxon can report back on that patrol, and you'll have some time to think about some things.
Cool.
First, we'll need to get the spells. Leva needs 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, that's... Well, I mean... You'll have all week to discuss things, so you might want to, some of that might get changed up too. So keep that in mind. No need to figure it out right now.
Well, it's not a complaint; it's just an information.
All right. Okay, so in terms of XP, let's go with I'm going to give everyone a flat 1,000. I think basically everyone had some good ideas and did a lot of stuff, so it prevents me from having to calculate out individual spell usage and stuff like that. But there was a lot of people doing a lot of planning and idea crafting and scouting and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's fair.
1,000.
Sorry, 1,000.
Yep. All right, and we will be back next week. We'll see what the party has in mind for their scouting or adventuring, or if they are ready to do an ambush, perhaps. We'll certainly see. I did want to also mention that one full day has passed. That's what happened in this session. And you're actually 2 days away from another year in the game, so...
Oh, dear.
So be ready. Be ready for aging your characters up. Or at least some...
not aging our characters up.
Or not aging some of your characters won't need it.
How long have we been... How long has it been since we were last in Brawl? Is it going to be like 3
2
years?
Yeah, you guys have been away from Brawl for 2 years. And it's
been... the Thieves Guild think I'm dead at this point.
It's been 6 years total in-game.
Remind me, who of the party got that slow age thing from Finn?
I did.
Myself,
Humans.
Ockar, and Braxon, I believe.
So only pure humans.
Yeah, the people who actually have the shortest lifespan. Seems reasonable.
I mean, Solas has short lifespan compared
yeah.
to the elves.
Does that mean
I
that
mean,
we
you
don't
live to
pick
like
up...
150 or something, don't you?
Basically,
Would
what I'll
you,
say is add like half a year, because I think that's how it works. I'll double check.
Yeah, but like mentally, we'd still continue aging and get the boost to smarts.
Yep.
Yeah, does not compute.
So, Braxon, there's no reason for you anymore to complain about haste. So there.
Oh no, but
Oh, okay.
I think it's traditional.
Hey, I never complain. I don't complain about haste because haste does not affect me.
You don't
see,
complain
It's
about
weird to lose
haste.
that ring.
Now here's the thing, Leva. What you should do is wait until Ockar is going to use another power from that ring, and then haste him.
That's an idea, yes.
That's
You-
malicious.
See, you You don't complain about haste, Ockar, because every time you're hasted puts you 1 year closer to Valhalla.
No, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, on the same logic, wouldn't that put Braxon also a year closer to being in a Ptah's home?
Just because he believes in Ptah doesn't mean he wants to meet him earlier than he should do.
No. The thing is that old age, dying of old age doesn't get you to Valhalla. Dying in combat gets you to Valhalla.
Yeah, but if you're old, you die easier in the combat.
That's
That's
not
true.
how it works. If I want to get into Valhalla, I have to do it the correct way, which is dying horribly in combat, trying to save everybody else.
I thought you said horribly.
Is horribly a must?
Yeah, he has to be
For Ockar,
he has to be
yes.
brutally mutilated by the enemies saving you all. That's exactly how it is. Anyway, I
Yeah,
want to
for-
thank you guys for playing. I really do appreciate it, and I want to thank everyone out there for watching. I really appreciate that as well. I hope you guys are having a blast. I am, and we will be back next week for more as we see what the party decides to do. But that will be next time. See you then,
Thanks for the
everyone.
game.
Thanks for
Thanks
the
for
game.
the game, all. Take care.
Thanks for having us.